In this video, we will demonstrate how to use the group tagging element. Let's first explain what is the purpose of the group tagging element. We saw that the list tagging element is used to repeat a certain content. Group is different from it because sometimes you first want to group your typically lines based on some condition, and then within each group to do things maybe in a different way, or maybe just summarize some values. Those are the typical use cases. So for that, let's check our data and see what is a convenient parameter for grouping. For example, we could group based on quantity, having one group for quantities above 1000 and below 1000 and do something with them. But to make things clearer, I will tweak this unit value. I will modify it to be, instead of each, I will say each 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we will play with them. So let's go to the end of these lines. Here I have purchase unit txt, and let's modify them. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. We see our modified data here. There are maybe two major use cases when we're doing grouping. One is we make a group and then we list all the elements within a group. Another is we make a group and then just calculate some sums of the elements in that group. So let's demonstrate the first use case. I will here on this same table add few more table rows, and again I will use coloring. In this case I will use, let's say, this blue shade, and I will also intentionally color one of them a little darker. Later it will be clear why. Now I want to say, repeat these 3 table rows for each group of lines, and I will make the groups based on this purchase unit. That way I expect to get 2 groups, one for EA1, this where I will have this line and this and this and this, and second group for EA2 with these 3 lines. That means I expect these 3 blue table rows to be repeated twice, once for each group. So let's do that. In a similar way how we did with list and if tagging elements, also the group tagging element requires a content, and it needs to be put around that selection, around that content. So while the 3 table rows are selected, I will click the group tagging element. Here I need to provide the binding. As I said, I want to group my lines, so up to here it's similar as with list tagging element. I double click the lines, but notice that the binding is red, which means it's not complete. Something is wrong with this information. What is wrong I can see on this tooltip, or I can see also when I go here and I see this yellow warning telling me that at least one group by key must be specified. What are the keys? Well, the values by which I want to group my data. And as we said, notice now I have again this kind of a dialog where I can provide one or more conditions, in this case group by keys. I will add just one, and I will say that it is purchase unit txt. Remember, we have 2 groups, and that's why I got these 3 table rows repeated twice, and now you understand why I used slightly different color for one of the rows so that it is clear where one group ends and the next group begins. What you usually want to do when you group something, you first want to see that condition or that key which you used for grouping. So let me bring it here. For that we need a field tagging element. And notice this funny little Docentric DG key. First of all, notice what is the context now. Now is the context current group. We are within a group. And in first group we will have these 4 lines having EA1. And in the second group we will have 3 EA2 lines. And what is common for all of them? Well, the value of that key that was used for grouping. So that's a very convenient way to get that value. So I point just to that, and now here I get EA1 and EA2. For those among you who are familiar with SSRS, you would do the same thing in the following way. You would say, give me the field, and then give me from purchase order lines, purchase unit TXT. I will say okay, but it's not going to be okay. The result is not going to be what you expect. I got, remember the number one beginner's mistake, I got these values from all 4 lines in the first group and from all 3 lines in the second group. So the way how it is done in SSRS, it is actually, let's bring it here. You say, in the whole group, all my lines have the same value. So it's okay if I take just the value from the first line. So you would say something like this. So from my first line, give me the value. And now you would get what you expect. But you would agree with me that this is much more elegant than this expression. So if I want to delete this, I can select this little tag, and then in that way everything is selected, and I can click delete on my keyboard, or I can right click here and say remove or remove with content. Remove just removes the tagging element but leaves its content, which will now become just a plain static text, or if I say remove with content, then it is equivalent to deleted this whole field tagging element with its content. I will do that. And now, as I said, we want to list all the lines in that particular group. So now we will repeat this list tagging element. We will say this blue line I want to repeat for every purchase order line in this group. So from the context of the current group, list all lines. Remember, we have 4 of them in the first group and 3 of them in the second group. So here I have 4 table rows and 1 extra coming from here, while here I have 3 table rows and 1 extra. And here in this list, I will say, for example, give me the field tagging element. So now from the context of the current line, give me its name. And let's say this line amount I also want to show. Give me just the line amount in N2 format. And also what is usually done when you have grouping, very often you will see in different reports that you want to get the intermediate sum of all, let's say, amounts. So here I will now use the summary field, and I will bind it to, from the context of current group, from all lines in that group, summarize the line amounts, and give me N2 format. So you can go and let's make it bold so that it is clear, and let's say here sum, and now you can calculate that these 4 values will give this sum and these 3 values will give this sum. One more thing I wanted to demonstrate about the grouping. That is another common scenario when you only want to see this group key and the sum. That's a common requirement. For example, on sales invoice, you will want to see all charges that are on lines, but you want to see them in one separate table where you want to see all types of charges and totals for each charge. For that, you would create a new table, for example. So in this case, I want to insert a table with 2 columns, one for the key, in this case the CA1 or 2, and another for the sum of line amounts. And then I will add several rows, and then later I will remove what is not important. And let's say this table row here, again, let's give it some color. This one here. The green table row I want to repeat for every group, which I will make in the same way as here. So we will say group tagging element, bound to lines, grouped by purchase unit TXT. We have 2 groups, that's why we got 2 green table rows. In the first cell, we want to show just the key. So from the context of current group, give me its key. And here I want to calculate the sum of line amounts in a given group. So just summary field, bound to. In the current group, from all lines, calculate their line amounts in N2 format. And then you would like to make it nicer, so align this on the right side, make this smaller, make this smaller. I can make this. Okay, here maybe we will say purchase unit. And here sum. Maybe make them bold or bold italic. And now we don't need this. And we don't need these two table rows. So very, very fast way of quickly calculating sums per groups. This was demonstration of the group tagging element with providing the details of the lines in the group or just calculating sums. And in parallel, we also demonstrated using the summary field. With this, we finished the last topic in this training. It was part 1 of our Docentric basic functional training, and it was dealing with the Docentric template designer.